Okay, today I found this really nice Vitex or Chaste Tree, and I thought I would go and gather some seeds off of it. So I'm looking on it, and it's got a lot of seeds on it that are ripe and ready to be picked. But then I started looking underneath the tree, and as I looked underneath it, I see all these little baby Vitex trees. And I started thinking to myself, I'm going to try and dig these things up and take them and replant them. Okay, I've got my little baby Vitex trees home now, and I just took them and wrapped them up in some wet paper towels to keep them fresh so I could get them home, get them replanted. I have no idea how many of them I have here, so I'm just going to plant at least the best ones out of here. And I've got little small 2-inch pots. I'd rather plant them in bigger pots, but I ran out of my bigger pots, so I'm going to use these. So I'm going to set these off to the side. And then I'll get some of my soil. And if you're curious about my soil too, I've got a video I just made on how I make my soil mix. So there's one of the trees. They look good, so I think they're going to be all right. Hopefully they'll transplant okay. So I'm just going to drop it down in the cup or in the pot and just pour soil around it. I'll do a couple of these real time and all that, then I'll come back and do the rest of them. Fast forward, I'll probably cut out on some of them because there's going to be a lot of them to plant, so I'll do 2 or 3 of them. I'm not too worried about them being perfectly straight. They'll straighten themselves up once they start growing up to the sun. So there's one. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to take them and keep doing that. Take these bigger ones first. That's 2 little ones here together. I'll put those together, see what happens with that. And then I've also collected some seeds too, so I'm going to go ahead and start some seeds. They say Vitex does not have to stratify, that it's ripe and ready to plant as soon as it comes off of the tree, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I'm going to plant up as many of these as I can, and I'll fast forward through some of them, and then I'll probably cut through at the end, and then I'll come back and we'll plant some seeds too that I collected off the same tree. Okay, I ended up with 20 of them. I had 1 or 2 extras, but I wanted to keep even rows because I'm going to plant seeds in the rest of them. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 4. I got 20 of them planted up. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up enough pots to finish filling this tray out, and then I'm going to put seeds in all the rest of them. So I'll go ahead and fill the pots up with soil and come back and we'll plant the seeds. Okay, I've got all my pots made now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5, so I got 30 that I can put seeds in, 20, then I'm going to have transplants in. So I'm going to go ahead, just to make it easier to put the seeds in, I'm going to go ahead and water, and these need to go ahead and get water anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of water on these. And I have to water these slow, because it takes this soil a little while to absorb all this stuff, so it's going to take several light waterings to really totally saturate this. I just want to get it a little bit wet. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute and soak in, and then I'll come back and then we'll put the seeds in those. Okay, I let these things soak in for a little while, and I'm just taking, it's a just an old map pencil, because I wanted a little bit of a point in there. So I'm just going to go through and use this as a dibble and just make a little hole in all of these. I'll just do one row here, and then I got my seeds. I soaked my seeds for a couple hours, and they didn't really plump up or do much, but they say you don't really have to soak these seeds. And there's, I don't know, there's probably a couple hundred seeds in there. But I'm just going to pick out the fat ones like this and then drop them down in the hole. I'll just drop one seed in each hole. That's a good thing about using these little small pots like this. If I don't get germination in every pot, then it's really not that big of a deal. I'll just reuse the soil and reuse the pot for something else. So I'm going to take it and pack that soil back down around those. And I'll go ahead and do all of these on video, but I'll fast forward through the rest of them. This will be kind of boring to watch me do all of these. Okay, I've got all the seeds in there now, so I'm going to go ahead and give them another watering. Go ahead and give my little transplants a little bit more water. And I put a lot of this stuff I put inside into my grow tent, or my little grow shelf inside with my LED lights. I think I'm going to leave these outside. Just going to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't dry out too much. The weather's starting to cool off just a little bit. It's only getting to the low to mid 90s, where it's been getting up to 100. I'm here in North Texas, up close to Dallas, so it's been a really hot September this year. So I'm giving these a good soaking, and then I'm going to set them in the sun, or I'll probably set them in some part shade. I'm not going to put them straight in the sun until these things have a little chance for the roots to start growing, but I want them to warm up. I want them to stay warm, get a good warm soil temperature. Hopefully the seeds will germinate quickly. So that ought to be a good watering right there. I think that stuff ought to be pretty well saturated. And so I will, I'll come take one more shot. Actually, I'll post a picture of these. Hopefully these transplants will start perking up a little bit. You can see they look a little bit wilty and stuff from being dry. So I'll get them all out of the dirt and let them get a little bit of light after they got water, and see if they stand back up and look perky again. That'll be a good sign if they do. If they look wilty and stuff, they may not make it, but if they perk back up, and I think they've got a pretty good chance for surviving. They had good roots, and I didn't really lose much of the root system when I pulled them up. So anyway, I'll show a picture of it towards the end. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. Thank you.